Okay. Now, in today's class, we are going to be revising all the topics of visualization of the object. So, all of you must be aware how we have divided the entire 51-day course. In that, visualization of objects is one topic, है ना? उसके अंदर we have divided that further into 4 more topics: folding, unfolding, counting of surfaces, vertices, counting of blocks, etc. है ना? So, 2D and 3D views is also a part of this. So, you can ask me if you have in this course of time any doubt if you have. Also, अच्छा ये question पहले आ जाना चाहिए था. Is everybody comfortable with English as well as Hindi? Yes, अगर कोई है who is not comfortable with English या फिर Hindi, you can let me know. This is going to be a mix of this class is going to be a mix of 2 languages. इसलिए मैं आपसे पहले ही पूछ ले रही हूँ. If there is any preference, I can stick to that. ठीक है. आप में से कितने बच्चों ने अटेम्प्ट ऑलरेडी दे दिया है नाटक, आप बता सकते हैं? तो आप अवेयर हैं पूरे प्रोसेस से, कैसे कंडक्ट होगा, टाइमिंग के साथ आप ऑलरेडी सॉल्व एक बार कर चुके हैं. आई हैव अ बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, तो मैं आपको बेटर गाइड कर पाऊंगी. English, okay. So I am asking ki, is there any one of you who has already given one attempt of NATA examination, so that I know how many of you are going to give the exam for the first time and how many of you have already tasted the exam pattern and how to go around with the exam and how to deal with the timer, etc. So if there's anybody who's already attempted NATA exam once, you can like once, twice, whatever the scenario is, you can type it in the chat box. Just write 1, 2, whatever. Okay. So everybody is going to give NATA examination for the first time, it seems. Okay. Are you aware at least that there's going to be a timer for your CBT questions? There's going to be 108 seconds given to you. Are you aware of that? Guys, you have to be a little attentive. You have to interact with me. Otherwise, I won't know whether you are able to understand or not. So I know that you have to type it in the chat box and it may, seem a little more work to do, but you have to interact. This is a live class. Now, आपको already you guys have access to recorded classes. You could have, done your revision in that also, but you are here for a reason. This is an interactive class. This is a live class. So you have to be interactive. My voice is loud and clear to everyone. Now, that is not an issue, I hope. So, okay. We will begin with the first class, the first topic, that is your folding and unfolding. Okay. The folding and unfolding, may say, what kind of questions do you get? First of all, you can get folding and unfolding of cube. You know that cube is a 3D object which has 6 surfaces, 4 adjacent and then one at the top and one at the bottom. So how does the unfolding happen? Okay. So for a cube, or it can be for a slightly complex 3D object. So it can be, let's say, a combination of many cubes. It can be a combination of cube and a cylinder and, let's say, cuboids, cones, etc. or various complex objects as well. Even that can happen. Or what can be done is, on a cube or any other 3D complex object, you can get a void, you can get a color, you can get a picture. Okay? Based on that, you have to understand now all of them will be surface development or unfolded version or folded version. for Q. Okay. अब उसमें there, let's say one surface has diagonally half portion marked as red. One surface has a orange color on it. One surface has a apple drawn on it. One surface has a triangle or a square drawn on it. ठीक है. Now you have to understand which of this object is going to come where. आप जब उसको unfold करोगे, when you are going to unfold it or when you are going to fold it, vice versa. Where is that particular object going to come? Which surface, first of all, adjacent, opposite or whatever, and which inclination, what angle. ठीक है. ये you have to be very observant with respect to this. Or you can be asked a third type of question wherein the folding and unfolding is happening of a paper, of piece of paper, and a piece of paper is essentially a 2D object, है ना? It's 2D, it's plain. ठीक है. अब the folding is going to happen, there is going to be no volume. So how do you put a question with respect to that? There will be voids drawn. ठीक है. So the folding and unfolding will be traced. कि okay, left वाला right में गया है, then again there is a fold, there is a triangular fold, there is a diagonal fold, etc. And then a void would be marked on that. And when unfolded back, when brought to the original shape, where is the cut going to come? Or what shape is the cut going to be formed, etc. These kind of questions are usually asked in folding, unfolding or surface development question. So we'll go one by one. सबसे पहले तो इसकी ट्रिक क्या है सॉल्व करने के लिए. For each of these questions we are going to see. First we begin with a cube. ठीक है. Cube के there are some questions. Then not a cube but a very simple object over here. And then a combination of a few objects. ये सब we are going to study. As you can see, not all the questions are from your 51-day course. Not all the questions are from your NATA examination. ठीक है. So we've prepared this particular revision session first of all, so that apart from the 51-day course, you have more practice. Okay. You have your test series, you have your practice questions, etc. in your lecture series of 51-day course. Apart from that, we are going to look into some of the questions. And one of the most important reasons why we are conducting this session is to make you solve these questions in 108 seconds. Okay, that is a new addition. I hope everybody is aware of that. So you should be able to solve these within the time limit. Now, many students are saying that they know the answer just because the problem is कि ठीक है 108 seconds में, for example, counting objects is a problem. ठीक है. You are trying to understand which unfold is going where, etc. and you miss the time. So that is one of the problems. If you attend this entire session properly and solve all these questions in 108 seconds, you will have a very good practice. चलो, let's begin. I will start the stopwatch. 108 seconds के बाद I expect you to type the answer in the chat box. चलो, let's begin. Ten seconds to go. Your time is up. What's the answer? A, B, C, D. What is the answer? Can you tell me? You can put it in the chat box. You can unmute and tell me the answer. Come on, whatever you think is the answer need not be absolutely correct. We'll definitely go through this. What is the correct answer, why it is the correct answer, etc. We'll go through that. What do you think? What is the correct answer? Guys, can you unmute yourself and tell me why you are not responding? Is it that the question is difficult or you're not comfortable putting the answer in the chat box or what? So, anyway, we'll solve this together. You can pay attention and then check for yourself कि आपने जो solve किया था वो correct है या नहीं. Okay. First of all, what does the question say? The image shows different views of a cube made out of panels with cutouts. Which option can be folded to make the given cube? ठीक है. अब क्या है, ये तीनों cubes जो हैं, all these three cubes basically it's one single cube, but the image or the angle of capturing the photograph is different. Okay. So this particular star that you see on the diagonal is a circle, star and a diagonal. This is exactly the same. One place you are seeing one face of it, the other one you are seeing the other two faces of it. ठीक है. तो ये दो adjacent उसके surfaces है where the voids are respectively what you are able to see. Now these two are the other two surfaces of that. ठीक है. This star and circle surface and this star and circle surface is the same. It's just that it's been rotated. As you can see, this star and circle is over here, this star and circle is over here, rotated. मतलब the other two surfaces are now visible for this. ठीक है? Now, you have this particular square, this circle and pentagon, this is a square, this is a circle and a pentagon. So the other side of the cube, there is a single pentagon that is seen over here. Okay. Now, the surface development will also show you all these, voids being punctured into the surfaces of the cube. Okay. Everywhere you will see that the voids is correct. Okay. So, what steps do you usually follow? First, you check whether the development has been done properly or not. ठीक है मतलब are there six surfaces or not, whether that particular surface development can be folded to make a cube. That is the first step that you follow. So the surface development is the same for all. There are six surfaces, you have four in line, one to the right, one to the left, etc. So that is correct. So the surface development is correct. Then you check for the shapes of the void that have been punctured, whether all of the shapes match the given cube or not. So this is a pentagon and a circle that we have, a diagonal star in a circle we have, one rectangle we have, one pentagon we have, triangle and a circle, and triangle and a pentagon. Okay. So when you were solving this question, you must have observed that all the voids punctured in each of these surfaces is exactly the same as given in the cube. So the next step is also done. All the punctures are exactly the same as given in the cube. ठीक है. अब the last step. What is the placement of all these voids? ठीक है. Placement correct है या नहीं है? Placement मतलब, let's say there is a star over here, there is a circle over here. How is it placed with respect to each other? Diagonally. So everywhere you should have the star and the circle placed diagonally. That is done. Next, once you have the circle and the star placed diagonally, you have marked that out. Next thing to understand is, adjacent में you have a circle and a triangle. Okay. Then इसके adjacent में you have a square punctured. अब this is going to be very easy. आप square से शुरू करो. Don't make it very complicated. एकदम simple चीजों से शुरू करते हैं. इसके respect में where is the square का puncture coming? ठीक है? So अगर star से मैं notice करूं तो एक ये space जो है वो empty है. There is nothing on that. And adjacent to it we have a square. ठीक है? Over here, star and the square are next to each other. There is not leaving one gap and the square has come. So this cannot be correct. Right away you can eliminate this. Okay? Next, you have the star and the circle diagonally placed and you have a square over here. एक place छोड़ के you have the square function. So this can be correct so far. We'll check for other shapes as well later on. ठीक है? Now, the star and the circle is here. The square is placed leaving one place on the circle's line. ठीक है? So according to this surface, the square would have come somewhere here. Not even that. ठीक है? Square would have not come here. यहाँ पर circle होता, यहाँ star होता, and then the square would have been here. But definitely that is not the case, as you can see. ठीक है? So even option C is wrong over here. Now, the next one. What do you have again? The star and the circle and the placement of the square is correct. So the simplest one you are done with. Next, choose any of the other sides. You can choose the pentagon and the triangle. You can choose the pentagon and the circle. Okay, this one. You can choose only the pentagon. You can go for any other side. So let me choose the pentagon and the circle because I can see that two times. With respect to square, I can check it. With respect to this diagonal star and circle, I can check it. So let me go ahead with that. Option B and D में से I have to choose. Okay. This pentagon and circle is leaving one space and then you have the pentagon and the circle. You leave one space and you have pentagon and circle. So this can be correct. Here you are not leaving any space and you have the pentagon and the circle. So even this is not correct. So this is also eliminated. You have B as the answer. You have to be very quick. You cannot go and check each of the surfaces with each of the voids. इतना time आपके पास नहीं रहेगा. So you have to quickly understand the question take let's say 10 to 15 seconds to understand the question. क्या हो रहा है? These are not three different squares that we are talking about or cubes that we are talking about. We are talking about the same cube, different angles. Correct. Look at the surface development. Just by looking at the surface development, could you eliminate anything? No. Next. Based on the kind of punctures that are there, can you eliminate anything? Next. What is the placement of that particular void? Based on that, can you eliminate anything? If yes, quickly eliminate. Even if one thing goes wrong in the surface development placement, you eliminate it right away. You do not have time, you have to be quick. ठीक है? ये नहीं है placement सही, next. ये सही है, okay. Next. You have to be very quick. ठीक है? One thing goes wrong and that is not the answer for you. चलो, next. Okay, this is on the similar line, so we will send it to you. You solve this now. Again, on a 108 seconds timer. चलो, your time starts now. Five seconds to go. Can anyone tell me the answer? Whatever you guys think is the correct one. So let's try to crack this. ठीक है. सबसे पहले what do you observe? This particular 3D form can be undeveloped or can be unfolded into what all things. So you've been given 4, 4, 3. मतलब the surface development is there. ठीक है? It could be correct, it could be wrong. That is one thing. Apart from that, you also have to check for the dimensions of these particular shapes. For example, इसमें से let's say I am marking this particular rectangle out. What is going to be the shape? A rectangle. What is going to be the dimension? This is going to be 3, this is going to be 4. Okay. Next, you see triangles. This is 4. This triangle is 4. What is this dimension? It is going to be 3. If one is 3, one is 4, you know that the other one is going to be 5. ये basic mathematics we are aware of. ठीक है? Next, there is another similar triangle. So another triangle where you have 3 and 4 and 5 dimensional triangle, a right angle triangle. Next, you have this side, this one side. What is going to be the dimension of this particular side? The base is 4 and the other side is also the hypotenuse of the triangle. So that is going to be 5. So I can say that another rectangle with 4 and 5 as the sides. ठीक है, एक बच गया कौन सा? The bottom one, 4 and 4. So it's a square with 4 and 4 as the sides. ठीक है, now in the surface development you are not able to see the dimensions. ठीक है, dimensions आपको 3D फॉर्म में दिए हुए हैं, dimensions आपको 2D फॉर्म में नहीं दिए हुए हैं. Okay, so how do you know whether it is correct or not? Again, the topic is visualization of object. As designers, as architects, you need to have your design aptitude very strong. So just while looking at a particular object, it should give you the understanding of ratio and proportion. ठीक है? अगर if this is 3, this has to be 3, or this is slightly more, so it has to be 4. It looks slightly less, so it has to be 2. These kind of questions are also asked in NATA examination. How good you are able to observe, how well you are able to observe things. How good is your design ability or visual ability. Okay? So that is what we are going to use over here. First one. This looks like a rectangle. This is a square. This looks like a rectangle. And then you have two triangles. Triangle we are sure of. We can get confused between squares and rectangles, etc. But a triangle we are sure of. There are two triangles. Both have same dimensions. So let us start with that. Start with the easiest one because we do not have much time to understand everything, make mistakes, go back again. Okay? So the back of your mind, the steps that you have to keep in mind is go ahead with the simplest thing possible, and all these will come once you practice. पहले 2-3 questions or the first 2-3 questions you may not be able to understand. You will make mistakes, or then you have to go back and forth, etc. As much you practice, it will be very clear to you, and back of your mind, subconsciously, you are next time going to go ahead with the simplest manner. You will have the ability to deduce it into the simplistic manner possible. ठीक है? तो अब यहाँ पर ट्राइंगल है. If this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Understood? If this is 3, this looks like 4. ठीक है? So a rectangle of 3 and 4. We have a rectangle of 3 and 4. Next, this is 5. ठीक है? This looks like a 5. This looks like a 3. This looks like a 4. If this is 5, this looks like 4. This is 5. This is 4. ठीक है? Do we have a rectangle like that? 5 and 4? Yes, we have. ठीक है, done. Then if this is 3, this is 5, this is 4, this looks like a square of 4 by 4. Do we have a 4 by 4 square? Yes, we have a 4 by 4 square also. So two triangles, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we have. 3 by 4 का rectangle. Yes, we have. 4 by 4 का, 4 by 5 का also we have. So far, it looks correct to me. Does it mean that I tick on A and move ahead? No, I have to check for the other options as well. Okay, start with the triangle. If this is the triangle that we are talking about, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. This looks like a square. So the dimension of the square is going to be 3 by 3. Do we have a square which is 3 by 3? No, the square has to be 4 by 4. So this can be eliminated. Next. Again, similarly, this is 3. This looks like more than that particular dimension. So this becomes 4. And the hypotenuse as calculated is 5. Okay. You have this this rectangle. If this is 4, this looks a little less than that at least. Okay. So this is going to be 3. This is going to be 3. This looks like a square. Again, the square dimension looks like 3 by 3, which is not something that we want. We want a square of 4 by 4. Again. 3. 4, 5. If this is 3, this looks like 4. 4 by 4 का square, ठीक है, so far it is correct. Next, you have triangles of 3, 3 by 4. Yes, you have 5 by, this looks like sort of 5 by 4. चलो ठीक है, 5 by 4 also we have. ठीक है. So even D can be correct. B and C can be eliminated. तो अब remove everything and see इन दोनों में से कौन सा करेक्ट होगा या कौन सा इसमें प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है इन द सरफेस डेवलपमेंट में. ठीक है. कैन यू गाइस टेल मी सरफेस डेवलपमेंट में इसमें किसमें प्रॉब्लम है सो दैट between A and D we have to choose one. Both cannot be the answer. ठीक है. Dimension wise everything looks correct. What is the exact problem over here? Can you tell me? All the shapes are already drawn. You already have all the shapes with you. Check and tell me where the problem lies. Can you tell me where the problem in the surface development is? Chala, ठीक है. Think about this and you yourself are going to tell me the answer. I'm not going to tell you the answer for this. ठीक है. We're going to upload the PDF in your group and at that time you will reply by chat. ठीक है. Next type of questions. Let us start with the simplest one. ठीक है. Now a 2D paper, a 2D plane that is a paper has been folded. The folding lines are shown to you. The folding arrows are shown to you. How it is getting folded is also shown to you. Okay. Now, sometimes what happens is only the arrow is given and this remaining line showing from where it got folded that is not shown, which causes confusion. ठीक है. इसलिए I said we are going to start with the simplest one. ठीक है. अब इसमें the arrow is shown. This is the arrow of folding. From where it has been folded is also shown to you. So this becomes very easy. The steps that you have to follow. First of all, check the arrow. Check where it is turning and where it is turning from very carefully. Okay? And mark the sides. Keep on marking the sides. For example, this is A. This is B, C, D. Let's mark this X, X dash, or let's say y dash, that is going to make more sense, x dash. So what is this x and x dash? Midpoint of AC and BD. Okay. Then you mark this particular center as O. This is the basic nomenclature that you will have to do for each folding and unfolding kind of a method. Okay. And you have to like don't draw it on your page and then fatafat you're shifting and folding it. No, visually you have to understand. This is A, this is B. So B has shifted to A. So this particular point becomes 18. Visually आपको सब समझना पड़ेगा. Okay. Now this point now is AB. This point now is C and D. ठीक है. This point is Y dash, that is as it is. O is also as it is. X and X dash are overlapping over here. ठीक है. Next. ऊपर का portion has come down. So the arrow also shows that and you have the leftover page also like shown. So that is again very easy. Now what has happened? AB has come down. Okay. And this particular Y portion is coming down. So this is AB which has come down. So C, D, A, B all are the same now. Okay. This point is O which is as it is. Okay. X dash कहाँ था? यहाँ था. That is X dash is as it is. Now this particular, just give me a minute. ठीक है, I hope you traced it. All the points you traced, kahan se kahan gaya, etc. Now all these points have shifted down. All these points have shifted down. Acha, this was O. O was over here. ठीक है, this was O. This was XX dash. ठीक है, all these points you traced. अब यहाँ से it is folding over here. So O XX dash are going to overlap now. And finally you get this one rectangle. Where is this rectangle coming? This rectangle is coming here. Folded version, unfolded version. You have to try to overlap that. Where exactly is the folded version coming? Okay? Now, the void has been cut in this manner. Matlab, exactly like that, you should be able to see the void over here. Exactly like that. Okay? Wherever do you have exact parallelogram? This is not correct. It is like the mirror version of that. This can be correct. C option can be correct. B option is not correct. Again, the void shown over here is the mirror image, not the actual image. Okay? And A can be correct. Okay? Now, the next step. Once you unfold this back, so this is the folding that you have. Once you unfold it back, what will you get? The parallelogram that is as it is over here, will it be the same when you are unfolding it, or is it going to be a mirror image? It's going to be the mirror image. Okay? So in option number C, what is happening? The original parallelogram, the unfolded parallelogram is exactly the same. It's not the mirror image. So even option number C can be eliminated. You have option number A as the correct answer. Okay? Again, this was very easy. Okay. Try solving this question. Let me put the timer as well. 108 seconds and you should be done with this question. Once you have the answer, put it in the chat box. The time starts now. Ten seconds to go. Time has ended. 108 seconds done. Anybody has the answer? Just type A, B, C, D in the chat box, please. Or you can unmute yourself and tell me the answer. ऑप्शन नंबर डी. ओके, डी. ठीक है, लेट्स चेक. अच्छा, अब ये क्या है? क्यूब है. क्यूब में यू नो देयर आर adjacent sides and opposite sides. What are these? All of these are adjacent sides. ठीक है, opposite तो नहीं है. It's not like the square is opposite to triangle or the square is opposite to the rectangle, etc. All these are going to be adjacent sides. अच्छा, first what you do? You check for the development, है ना? Development इसमें कैसा है? All of them, if you like try to fold it, it is going to become a cube. Okay, that is not a problem. Second, you have to check whether all these three shapes are there or not. So rectangle, triangle, square, correct, correct. All of these have the same three shapes, also black color. All of them are also black color. So whenever a color change is there, you have to check for that as well. Now third, you have to check for the placement of the shapes. ठीक है, it has to be adjacent first of all, opposite allowed नहीं है. इसमें triangle and the square is going to be opposite, so C eliminated directly. ठीक है, अब the fourth point what you have to check for is when it is like folding back into a cube, what are the adjacent sides going to become and how they are going to become, and what is going to be the rotation of these shapes. ठीक है, so for example, this particular side that you have is going to coincide with this side. ठीक है, so ये ऐसा आ जाएगा ना, which is correct. At the base you should have your square, that is correct. यहाँ पर the square will be parallel to your rectangle, this is correct. So D can be the answer. Let's check for the others. Once you are folding it into a cube, you will have the triangle like that. So the pointing portion is going to face towards the square. That is not correct. The flat portion or the base portion has to face towards the square. So this can be eliminated. Next. In this particular scenario, this surface or this edge is going to fold with this edge. Matlab, the triangle is going to be on the side of the square. Again, this is not correct. So as you guys correctly said, all of you are right. D option is the correct one. Absolutely correct. ठीक है? अच्छा. Now, let me give you a slightly difficult question. Slightly difficult. Okay, let me put the timer. Your time starts now. Time's up. What is the correct answer? Can you tell me? C. One person says T. C. ठीक है. What about the others? C? Okay, that is correct. Option number C is correct. How? Okay. These two are going to be opposite. These two are going to be opposite. And these two are going to be opposite. So adjacent or opposite सबसे पहले check कर लेते हैं. Of course, you don't have four developments, so you have to check whether it is going to be unfolded to become a cube, etc. That you don't have to check. So directly adjacent and opposite आप check कर सकते हो, ठीक है? यहाँ पर सबसे पहले the orange and what looks like I don't know what fruit is this. ठीक है? These two are opposite. ठीक है? यहाँ पर it is shown as adjacent. तो ये दोनों तो correct नहीं हो सकता है. Then what's the problem with B? If you try to fold this, these two sides are going to like overlap into each other. तो ये turn हो जाएगा. You'll have the orange over here and the shadow over here. तो इसके leaf के साथ you won't have the shadow. So even B can be eliminated. Next, this strawberry, this fruit looks exactly like that. The grapes are adjacent, parallel to this particular fruit. ठीक है? C looks like correct. Now let's check for D also and then we'll finalize C. You have the banana. Okay, you have the banana over here and right next to the banana you have the shadow. Here the shadow is twisted. The shadow should have been over here and then you have the orange fruit. So even D is not the correct answer. You have C as the correct one. Okay, rightly said by all of you. Great. Okay, next, counting questions. These are going to be the simplest kind of questions that you can get in your examination. It could be counting of blocks, it could be counting of surfaces, it could be counting of vertices or edges. Okay, it could be anything. Just you have to be very observant. Focus नहीं होना चाहिए. You have to be very focused while solving. As it is, you have to be very focused during the CBT test. But इसमें तो you have to be very quick and you have to be very observant. छोटी सी भी गलती is going to cost you the marks. ठीक है? Let's start with one of the simplest ones. Imagine letters are extruded into 3D dimensional object. जैसे A है. एक नॉर्मल ए को आपने 3D दे दिया है. ठीक है? आपको जैसे पुश कर दिया है उसको. ठीक है? तो इसमें 3D फॉर्म आ गया है. Now, as shown in the figure, on the left, the letter A is shown. The word LOVE that is shown on the right were to be extruded. मतलब जैसे A को extrude किया है और 3D फॉर्म बनाया है. Similarly, अगर आप LOVE इन सबको extrude करोगे, how many surfaces would there be? So L, all the surfaces, OVE, all the surfaces, you have to sum and then you have to give the answer. ठीक है? Now, take 108 seconds to solve this. However, your understanding of question is also included into 108. But अभी हम समझने की कोशिश करें. So that is there. चलो, start. चलो you guys got extra time. चलो anyway, 34, 35, ठीक है. What about the others? What do you think? How many surfaces are there? 35, 35. चलो ठीक है. How do you know that? एक तरीका है, you are going to like imagine that all of these are being extruded and then you imagine that, try to solve for the number of surfaces etc. Or what you can do is like a quick trick, जो आपको 2D लेवल पर ही जो लेटर दिया है, the letter that has been given to you on a 2D level, try and understand how many vertices are there or try to understand how many edges are there. ठीक है. For example, A. Okay. What do you have? One edge corresponds to one surface. One edge corresponds to one surface. One edge corresponds to one surface and so on. ठीक है. Just calculate the number of edges that are there. That is going to be the number of surfaces. Trick. If there is a void in between, you have to calculate the edges in that also. So 1, 2, 3. You add 3 to it. Another trick. If there is any like curved surface, for example O, okay, there are no sharp edges. Matlab just one complete surface is going to be there, but you have a void in between. So you have this as one surface. You have this as surface number 2. Great. You have all the tricks with you. Chalo. Now what we go ahead is just trying to count the edges. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for end. 1, 2. Okay. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you have 12. What does the sum come up to? 12 plus 7 plus 6 plus 2. What is it adding up to? कितना हुआ? 12 plus 2, 14, 14 plus 6, 20 and 27. तो 35 कहाँ से आए? ठीक है. Imagine the letters are extruded into three dimensional objects as shown in the figure on the left. Letter A. If love was to be extruded, how many surfaces would it have? Is it like being given that you have to calculate the top or the bottom or both or none? Nothing has been given, so you include this top also, you include the bottom also, you include. Okay. Sometimes what would be given to you is all these letters are placed on a table. Okay. If they are placed on a table, matlab the bottom surface you do not have to count, that has overlap with the table. Okay. So bottom wale you do not count, ऊपर वाले you count. Okay. So in this case you count 2 each. So 27 top and bottom, 28, 29 top and bottom, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. ठीक है. So your answer is correct, but why did I pause you at 27? Because you have to check this also कि उन्होंने बोला है क्या टेबल पर है. अगर टेबल पर है you do not check the bottom one, you do not calculate. ठीक है. Next. ये थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो जाएगा. There are different types of pineapples in the given figure. How many pineapples appear only once? Only once. बहुत सारे pineapple दिए हुए हैं यहाँ पे. ठीक है. जैसे for example ये pineapple है. You have similar kind of pineapples again. You have this pineapple. You have similar kind of pineapples. ये पूरा आपको observe करना पड़ेगा और उसमें आपको देखना है how many pineapples appear only once. ठीक है. Solve this. Start your calculation. I'll reduce 5 seconds in the timer. Start. 5 seconds to go. Stop. What's the answer? Third pineapple, bottom third row. So you're saying only one apple is there who is not repeating. Okay. What about the others? 1, 2, 3. How many pineapples did you find which are not repeating? ठीक है. The correct answer is not 1. Let me tell you that first. चलो इसको solve करते हैं. ये इतने सारे pineapples, so many pineapples have been given to you, strawberries have been given to you. Confused हो जाओगे. Confused होने के बाद 108 seconds में you won't be able to solve this particular question. How do you go about these kind of questions? Start with either left and move towards right on your screen, or start with the top and move towards bottom of your screen, or vice versa. Anyway, but start with one corner, one side, and then move to the other. Keep on checking the pineapples. ठीक है? इससे क्या होगा? Nothing will be repeated. Nothing you would have skipped. ठीक है? And while doing this calculation, you have to be very, very observant. That is the key for any question that you are solving in your CBT test. NATA. ठीक है? चलो. Let's start. I try to figure out a pineapple. Even if it is repeating only once, I scratch that and move ahead. क्या है? Only once होना चाहिए. 2 बार भी हो गया तो I scratch it and move ahead. ठीक है? आगे कितनी बार हो रहा है मुझे देखना ही नहीं है. ठीक है, चलो. Once I have this black with white V's, I have it scratched out. This white with black V's, do I have it? Yes, I have. Scratched out, scratched out. Black with white lines. Do I have black with white lines? Yes, scratched out. White with black lines. Yes, I have scratched out. This already occurred. Like a check shape, do I have? Yes, scratched out. Black and white lines. Black with V's, white with V's. This has been scratched out. White lines, black V's, white with black V's, scratched out, all these. I'm just quickly scratching out now because you know that has been repeated. Okay, quickly you have to visualize and keep on scratching it out. Okay, this I found something new. Earlier on, I had white pineapple with black crosses. Here I have black pineapple with white crosses. Do I have it anywhere? No, I am not able to see any repetition. So for now, I am going to keep this as count number 1. If I find it repeating anytime, I am going to scratch it. Okay? This I have. To the top again, I have. Quickly solving for all of these. This I do not have. So another unique one wherein I have black pineapple. On that we don't have white V's, we have white dots. So this has never occurred before. So I am keeping that also in check. This I have. All these I have. Okay. So this black pineapple with white checks and this black pineapple with white dots have occurred only once in the entire diagram given. So answer is, how many pineapples appear only once? 2 pineapples appear only once. Is this clear? Yes, no, want me to repeat? Just type in yes or no or repeat in the chat box. Yes? Chalo. On similar lines, solve this question. Solve this question on similar lines. An intersection where 2 or more line occurs and or curves meet or cross. Okay. How many intersections are there in the figure? Your time starts now. Read the question carefully first. 10 seconds to go. 5 to go. And stop. How many intersections do you have? Any counting? So let's solve this together. The idea is the same. First of all, you understand the question. The curves have to meet or cross each other. You start with either top and move bottom or left and move towards right. Okay? Overall understanding is the same. Now keep on counting the crosses. 1, 2. Next. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. And 10. Okay, I am not calculating this or not. I am not going up and down. That is going to cause more confusion. I am just calculating एक line का pen. Okay. So 1, 2. I could have also like not considered this. पहले ये कर सकते थे. Okay, anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Done. 16, 17, 18, 19. This row is also done. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Now, will this be counted? Yes. Till now we have 29. Will this be counted? Yes, it is going to be counted. Q. The lines can also meet to be called as an intersection in this particular case. So yes, you count this as 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. You have 44 intersections overall. ठीक है? अब जैसे यहाँ पर मैंने ये पूरा एक साथ काउंट किया. There is a level difference, but I was sure that I'll be able to manage that properly. So I took a call. I calculated this section together. I took a call over there. I could have even calculated this entire section together. So whatever you think works well for you, you do that. Either you take 119 and move downwards, or you combine those because they are visually very together. So you can combine that and check for yourselves. Overall, select one edge and move to the other, to the opposite edge. Okay, ये तो you have to follow, otherwise you are going to either repeat the counting or leave out one. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, can you solve this? This is the last one for the day. Which of the following lakes has the largest area? What will you do? इसमें visually you won't be able to tell. Okay, that is not possible. So yes, this comes under visual understanding and reasoning also. But here, only visual understanding is not going to give you the answer. What you do is, you break it down into blocks, or you break it down into like units. Okay, for example, let's say this is 1 unit and this looks like a square. So that is your 1 unit. What you do? This is 1. This can be like considered as 2. This can be considered as 3. 3 के हिसाब से I have 2. Okay, 3 into 1, 3 into 1 like that. This is 4. So 4 into 1. Then 5 into 1 के लिए this looks somewhat like 3. है ना? So I am dividing it into smaller blocks, and I am calculating the number of blocks, saying that one block is 1 unit by 1 unit. So the area has to be 1. So one block represents 1 meter square, feet square, whatever, 1 unit area. So like that you have to solve for A, B, C, D and get your answer. So yeah, very simple. You have to be patient, you have to be observant, you have to calculate properly, and you're done with your answer. Okay. Can you tell me the answer in the chat box? Okay, let me erase everything. I'm not putting the timer for this. As soon as you get the answer, you tell me in the chat box. Okay, you can tell me A, what is the area? B, what is the area? C and D, what is the area? Tell me like that. B, C, D, what is the area or what is the number of units that you have calculated? Option number D is the correct answer. That is correct. ठीक है, but can you tell me the areas separately also? A, B, C, D का कितना आ रहा है? ठीक है, let me post this in your group. This presentation I will put it in your group. At that time you can answer. ठीक है, you can reply to that text. One question we've left. इसके पहले surface development का, in which there were two answers that were coming correct, and we had to choose which one is the correct, and among them how do you choose which one is correct? That answer you have to reply to, and this one A, B, C, D का how much area you are getting. ठीक है, चलो we'll end the class here. Do you have any doubt with respect to whatever we've revised today? ठीक है, we'll end the class here then. Bye everyone, have a good day.